I have been channeling Raphael for 37 years. The angels just started coming in for me literally this month in a whole new way. The Saraphin are way up here, and I've never connected with them before, but it just activated it in me. We were working in this particular light code with Yeshua. His halo touched ours, which created the Vesica Pisces, which opened the center of the Mandora, which opened a key into a higher dimension, which led us to connect with the Saraphin vibration. Working with the Saraphin to turn on the pineal gland and the eyes of perception, they can see through the Maya. The Lionsgate portal is really merging heaven and earth, which is it's creating a bridge between the different dimensions into the inner core of the earth all the way up into the galactic core. It's creating a rippling effect that's going to amplify the energies coming into Egypt in 2027. The way in which you align and attune to this energy is to come, yes, into a coherent field and into a state of presence to support you in being able to adapt to the shift that is taking place in which you're fully awakening into the avatar light body.
I'm curious, how do we work with the Seraphim in our own time? I'm curious what your heart would like to share in this moment. Is there anything flowing through you?
In this now moment, oh, just tapping into the sweetness and love. I feel like so much people have lost the love. And when I tap into my community, there's this fragmented, polarized energy. People are feeling unsafe and overwhelmed and overloaded, and just supporting us coming back to the love.
Yeah, I definitely can feel that too. Now, how do we actually protect ourselves in these crazy times? I mean, because it's nuts, right? It's like there's so much going on the news that I feel sort of like I have to watch it, but then I don't at all want to watch it, you know? So it's like this conflicting place of, do we need to know what's going on out there or do we not?
Yeah, I mean, that's a personal decision for everyone. I lean toward no.
Yeah, for sure.
Unless there's something that we can absolutely do about it and take an action that's going to physically take a change, dropping into that frequency, which they're showing me is a very scrambled energy that pulls us down into lower vibrations. It's sort of not our job, but our responsibility right now to hold a higher timeline, to hold love in our heart and compassion, and to stay in the highest frequency possible. I think that's one of the greatest things that we can do right now for those who find themselves in conflict and in suffering and in horrible situations, rather than dropping into the frequency where they may be residing right now, to hold a higher one so that they can meet us there and not get sucked into it, because on a lot of levels it's designed to do that. It's creating an enormous imbalance for people in their fields, and a lot of fear is coming up. And what Raphael was showing me is that, for so long we've been on this bridge between these realities of this old energy we've talked about forever, and everyone does deconstructing and dismantling and collapsing in front of us, and that can be really fearful. But what happens is that as we're dropping that energy collectively, we're also dropping it in our own bodies. And that density is falling away. And as we elevate our vibration, we're becoming lighter, but we're also becoming more porous. And so we're more susceptible to feeling and attuning to what's happening on all different levels of frequencies, including a lot of suffering. And if anything within our energetic field is matching that needs clearing, it's going to attach to that fear, to that vibration. And so that's why we're going to work with the protection vibration, not because we're protecting ourselves against something outside coming to get us, but we are creating a sense of safety zone within our own field to seal those porous energies so that we can maintain that light, that higher vibration, so that we can be that beacon of energy for the planet. Because that's what those are the tuning into what your program is and what people do in this community are really feeling called to do, right? To hold it. Raphael always says, hold it, hold
Yeah.
it. Easier said than done, right? and we all drop down. And I think we're being asked to support each other when we notice getting really sucked into the drama and the polarity and the war and everything that's going on. If we can't physically take an action to change it, other than sending money or calling and making our opinion known or protesting or whatever that might be that we decide to do, then we have to really keep coming back to center.
Yeah, it's fascinating you say that because it makes me think. Like I've been monitoring my coherence levels for 7 years, and like 7 years ago, I would use this inner balance that monitors your coherence, and I would do it one day and it would be all lit up, and then 4 days later I'd do it and it'd be all lit up. But now if I do it and then I take 3 days off and I do it again, my coherence is really scattered. So it's almost like I have to do these practices every day to keep my coherence. Like it almost has to be a discipline to protect yourself and feed the field like positivity instead of getting caught in that river of just craziness.
Exactly, right? And that's what it is. And it comes down to sacredness, presence, discipline, a willingness to do the things that you like what you do, and you bring your community together to come into coherence. There's nothing more important than what you're doing, Kyle, because that coherent field is the one that we're being asked to hold. And because Raphael shows, if you look at it, it's as if the field itself is scrambled. It's like this. And if we keep tapping into it, then we're just amplifying that. And so the more we can tap into heart coherence and do the work that you do, the more we can come into the state that's needed right now to hold the energy. And that's protection. Protection isn't protecting ourselves against somebody coming after us. It's protecting our energy field by coming into our harmonic field of heart coherence.
Yeah. So I would say like 10 years ago, if there was a war started, a lot of America would probably rally around in some sort of patriotic way, just not speaking for everybody, but just generalized. There'd be more support. And now it feels like everyone's like, no, like we don't want this, but it's still happening. So how do we like how is this going to end up where we can actually someday, you know, change the vibration of these 1% of people that are ruling the world? Or how does it shift to, and is that why there's so much crazy energy right now? Are they like panicking and they just want to do whatever they can to keep us here, you know?
I think it is a great panic, right? To hold on. And because the energy is so scrambled and the fear tactics are so intense that they pull on that energy, and that emotion amplifies that. So the greatest thing you can do is to disengage from it, not feed the energy. What Raphael's been showing is that many new leaders will start to really rise up that won't be part of the old system, that are deeply embedded in the indigenous ancient teachings and cultures, and even religious leaders from all different religions around the world may start to rise up and come together in union and lead, from a place of compassion, and drop some of the old paradigm. And so we're really, I think, going to see these huge shifts come, in terms of the way things have been playing out on this stage of our reality pretty rapidly. Raphael shows, by 2030 we'll really be in a different place energetically. But it's going to require, like you said, like doing the work and the discipline and holding the energy and staying in compassion and being in the moment and being present and moving through from that frequency of our intuition rather than the mind, and dropping that old paradigm and way of being and our identities and our beliefs. And it's not always easy. It requires energy and effort. And it's so easy to slip back, right, into our old patterns and way of being, and forget the world and not recognize our responsibility of service right now that we're being asked to do at this time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really where it all comes from, that perception of like, are you waking up and trying to serve, or is it all just like me, me, me? And I got caught in it this winter. It was a tough, challenging winter, but I feel like I had to go through that to get back to this place where I just feel like, in the flow of service, feeling good, feeling lit up. But if anyone's out there and you're going through it, I felt it too. So I'm here with you. If you need to talk about it, you can reach out to me. One thing that I remember from our last conversation was you talked about us being in the process of almost shifting as beings into different, like DNA changes. Is that still happening? Where are we at in that process?
That is so intense.
Yeah.
And so Raphael could speak more clearly to that, but I'm
Okay,
in the
cool.
middle of what's called the resurrection code. And what that is that we are activating and awakening the new human by consciously choosing to do it through listening to these processes and transmissions of releasing these deep old wounds and activating the DNA and turning on the light and stepping into our light body. And so all of the codes that will take me 8 years to complete are about forming, creating, amplifying, and embodying the light body within, as if we are ascending into those frequencies while still maintaining physical form. So we're oscillating between form and no, non-form until we can bring enough light into the body to embody that light while still being in form. And it's a profound process, and it requires a lot of letting go.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, now you had talked about protecting yourself. How do you like who do you call on for protection? Is it Raphael?
Well, Raphael's always right there with me. And as crazy as it is, I have been channeling Raphael for 37 years. So you think I would know like everything about angels, but I
Yeah.
don't. And the angels just started coming in for me literally this month in a whole new way.
Wow.
Yeah, so Archangel Michael, right? We really think about him as the angel of protection. And I flew to Italy and spent some time in these caves where his energy is present along the Michael ley line and attuned to his energy. But what it helped open up was this dimensions to all these different angels. And Raphael is helping people attune to them, their frequency, their sound, their energy of creation, so that we can really connect and have the support, because we need so much support right now as we're going through this and call upon them. So yeah, I call upon Michael and Raphael, but all these other beings are coming in. And some of them are energies that go all the way up to what's called the Saraphin. They're these burning light beings with eyes all over them and wings of light, and they're so intense. Um, and they can come in. I had recently an incident where I got bit by a Lyme tick, and I've had Lyme before, and it is not fun. Like really bad Lyme. And I had this bullseye and it was starting to grow. And I was like, you know what? I do all this work with all these people. Like, can I contain that? Can I protect that? Because it energetically, what that is usually is your boundaries somehow are down and they need to be protected, right? And put back in place, like energetically from a tick coming in that way. So I went in and I invited the angels and we kind of contained where the bite was and energetically, they shrunk it. And you can't probably see it here, but I had this huge bite and it just like went down to a tiniest little dot. And I started to get the headache, the neck pain, everything. And it just stopped in its tracks.
Wow.
And so I think sometimes we forget that we can call on them and we can work with them on an energetic level, whether it's physical, emotional, or mental, and they can sometimes things feel like they're going to spin out of control or we can go down one particular timeline, and if we can catch it and be like, okay, I'm not, and my mind was starting to go, oh my god, I'm going to have Lyme disease again, I'm going to be in bed, I'm not going to be able to work, like all that craziness, right? And then you just have to the protection is, can we stop the mind from cycling into that world? Can we bring it back into balance? Can we say, no, that is not my intention? Can I come into a coherent field? Can I realize that I am the master creator? Do I know that I'm an incredible healer? Can I call in the angel of healing, the angel of protection, the beings of light? Can I have them come in? And I had them just wrap my whole body from like my toes all the way up with this field of light, and then go in and surround and protect where the tick was and contain it, and I'm totally fine. And I think that we forget the power of like to do that. That's just one tiny example, but things that keep coming up in our experience that we don't have to follow that path. We can bring it back and protect the energy, contain it, amplify it back into light, and move in a totally different trajectory as long as we start to realize that we're the master creators of our reality and we get to choose where we were wanting to go. And so the lesson came in. I had to learn something. It showed up, but it didn't have to turn into a whole big blown out thing that went on for months or weeks or years. Same thing with the concussion, right?
Yeah.
It's like, how do we, when I took the fall, do we go into victim mode? Do we like, why did this happen to me? I can't believe this happened now, blah, 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 blah. Or do we really drop back into, okay, this happened for a really good reason. Why did it happen? What is the universe trying to tell me? Am I going to listen to it? And the sooner we can listen to it and then bring in the beings to support us, the faster we can recover.
Yeah. Now, do you know the specific nine dimensions of the angels? Like, what's the bottom one? Or
Well, the bottom ones are actually the guardians, right? And then
oh, the
it's
guardians.
the angels.
Okay, so guardians, archangels.
Right. And then it goes up, I think it's like virtues and powers and dominions and the thrones and the Saraphin are way up here. And I
Wow.
never connected with them before
Wow.
or felt their energies. And I don't know if it got ignited by being on that ley line in Italy and tuning into these caves and these vibrations, but it just activated it in me. And when we go in and we do this work, like we were working with the halo, right, around the head the other day. And we're going from the suffering vibration of actually pulling like thorns, almost as if through Christ consciousness, thorns, like the crown of thorns out of our head. And then those thorns were the energies where we had moved into separation from the divine. And once the thorns were removed, these stars appeared. And inside the stars were these beautiful orbs of light. And in the orbs were these different angels. And within them, they were filled with these eyes of perception. And then our halos around our head started to glow. And then we were working in this particular light code with Yeshua. His halo touched ours. And as it touched, the two halos intersected, which created the Vesica Pisces, which opened the center of the Mandora, which opened a key into a higher dimension, which led us to connect with the Saraphin vibration. And it's just he was showing me that we were interlocking with the avatars, whether it be Buddha or Krishna or Jesus or, great avatars or rainbow light energies in the Tibetan tradition that have stepped into the rainbow light body that are activating that light. That if we can connect with those avatars and those frequencies, that they want to interact with us. And as they interact with us, in parts within our new human that are being activated are intersecting with their vibration and it's unlocking things within our field. It's turning on the light and we're becoming more and more light beings, light bodies, light avatars. So as you ask, are we becoming a new human? Yeah, we are evolving as the planet is evolving. We have to adapt. Raphael says the planet is moving through its ascension process. It may have many different ways that we perceive it, but we are interlocked and connected with it. And so we must adapt and evolve with it. So as it's evolving, we're evolving. And as we can evolve into a state of more love and compassion and light, we can align with the frequency of the planet that's ascending in that direction rather than really tapping into the part of the releasing of the density so much. Like that's part of what we have to do. We have to pull those thorns out,
Yeah.
right, to amplify the halo, or we have to pull the arrows out of the heart and the wounds in our heart for it to become a crystalline rose. We have to do both. But I think our human nature is we often get stuck in the wounds and
Mm.
thorns, and we forget that we have a crystal heart and a halo.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, with this increase in energy, are those thorns going to be forced out? Like, is everyone going to be ascending through this process, um, ripping out their thorns and becoming more porous, or is it just the people who are really doing the work?
I mean, Raphael would always say that we can't be separated, right? So within the higher octaves of the unified field, we are all one, even the ones that are in this densest frequency possible. So I remember back in the 80s, Raphael would say, there's nobody, there were select, maybe thousands of people back then that channeled or knew what channeling was, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And she said, you're piercing an arrow to open a pathway and more will follow. in 10, 20, 30 years, there will be hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people on this pathway of enlightenment and attunement and channeling and connecting to the higher realms, which seems so far-fetched back then because you could not tell
Right.
anybody that you channel.
Yeah.
But you said, as you pierce that arrow, right, you widen that path and more than have the accessibility to move into that frequency. So as you're doing the work with the heart coherence and with your community, you're widening that path for what we might think of like as the lowest, darkest, densest energies to also be elevated to follow that path as well. So I don't think that we can say some will make it and some will not, and some we're separated. I think that it's that we are moving at different levels in our evolution, and that those who are choosing to consciously be disciplined and make the effort to do it are lifting up those who perhaps aren't conscious yet.
Our mission here at the Heart Coherence Collaborative is to get people in touch with the healing power of the heart.
And we really need your help. Right now, only 1% of viewers subscribe. We are aiming to take that number to 6%.
The reason why we want to do that is the more people that subscribe, the more people in the world can learn the magical practice of heart coherence.
So please help us out. If you ever listened, if you love this message, please just take a moment to subscribe.
Thank you so much. We love you.
We love you.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Now, that's the individual, but is Earth also going through like a porousness, process of an evolution too?
Yeah, well, it has to, right? Because we're part of the, or like we
Yeah,
can't be
yeah,
separated from
yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and that's obvious. We see that happening. And so it's also going through that huge transition. And we can focus on the destruction as well, or we can see all the light and beautiful things that are coming up. Like so many people in my community will say they now can tune into the fairies and the elementals, or they see things in the stones, or the trees are talking to them. Like we're returning to this more ascended heavenly frequency and that many are tapping into, and other people might only see the destruction. So it really depends where we choose to place our perception.
Mhm. Now, is a part of that porousness also why all these like things are being revealed right now? Whether it's the Epstein files or just like things that are happening on the news that we used to just like take as true, and now we're like, that's not true at all. Like, is that a part of this whole thing? Just
Yeah, right. It's just this huge exposure,
right,
and
right.
it's crazy.
It's like it's like a million times more than it's ever been. Like everything's being exposed instantly.
Yeah, well, we're lifting the veil of our amnesia. So we were in such a structure, right? It
Yeah.
was like the structure was so strong and we were in it and it just was. And as it lifts and the density falls away and it gets more porous and more fluid and the holes open up, we can see that the structure was just an illusion, right? And so all those illusionary energies that were holding and binding us in separation have to come up for us to look at. And I mean, I don't know about you, but when I was a kid and somebody came to the podium and in the government or told you about something, you were just like, oh, yes, well, that's what's happening, right? We're like little robots. And
Yeah,
now
yeah,
we're like, no freaking way.
yeah, right.
Right? That's just a bunch of BS. And
Yeah,
so we're seeing behind the manipulation more than ever.
right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like kind of like just like the individual. Like for you to change your own patterns, you have to be aware of it first. And now we're aware of these collective patterns. So you'd think and hope that they would stop doing these things that are just so outrageous that we know our lies, right?
It's unbelievable. And that they think that we're so gullible to think that it's true.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I hope
Right?
they care. I hope they stop because it's just becoming like everything on the news. It just seems like it's one big show.
Well, it is a big show. I mean, do you remember for years, like let's say you go to work out at a club and they have like seven channels on,
Yeah,
like, right? And then you look and they're all playing the same thing,
right.
and you're like, oh, this is so orchestrated, but we somehow thought, oh, well, we have free press. And now it's becoming one huge conglomerate. They own everything. So it's a massive programming machine.
Yeah,
And who knows how much it has to do with reality at all? It's taking a tiny fragment of reality amplifying it, projecting it at us, and telling us that's true. And then we get to decide. And that's why the discernment is so key, and working with the Saraphin to turn on the pineal gland and the eyes of perception. The Saraphin are these angels who they're covered in eyes. And that's because they can see through the Maya, through the illusion of reality to the truth of the divine. And I think that's what we're being called to do, to look behind the curtain and find the kernel, the essence of truth.
Yeah. Yeah. I recently was calling some radio stations because we're doing a retreat in Maui and Anaheim. And I called to try to see if we could do an ad on the radio station. So I looked at the top three radio stations in Anaheim and the top three in Maui. And I would click on them, and both, every time it went to iHeartRadio, iHeartRadio, iHeartRadio for both cities. And I realized that like iHeartRadio controls the entire airwaves. So I started doing some research. It's like they own like 60% in the whole country. So it's just like it's insane.
Yeah.
Um, I'm curious, how do we work with the Seraphim in our own time more?
Well, I mean, I do that in my light codes, but
Oh,
I'm
cool.
trying to think, how can you guys do that? Of course, you can do it on your own. They have six wings, so they're also connected to the Merkaba, which is like this chariot of light to amplify our light body. So just call upon them. They'll come in. They're very fiery. It's also about, if you're working with opening up in your pineal gland, and your third eye will connect you to them. They cover their eyes because they're so close to the shining light of the divine that they cover them. They cover their feet in humbleness, and then they have these wings to fly. So that's what they look like. And you can just call on and feel their frequency. They're very, very high vibration. We're going to work with them to help us seal and protect our energy field so we're not leaking it, feeling drained, overwhelmed, unsafe, all of that. But just start reading, researching, attuning to them, drawing them.
Nice.
Notice, like, if you're in any place where they have beautiful art, that they'll show up historically in a lot of religious artwork and things like that, and you can feel into their frequency.
Beautiful. We have a couple questions from the community that I want to just throw out there. What do you recommend parents do to support young minds to help them feel connected to a greater source?
To be in nature.
Mm, that's awesome. So simple, but so powerful, right?
Mhm.
Um,
I mean,
yeah.
I can channel and you can ask, but yeah, nature is everything for the kids because they start to, they're so sensitive, the new children, they're so conscious and aware. I think one of the things that's creating such havoc in their energetic fields is electronics.
Mm,
So keeping them, my niece recently, her daughter is whatever, like 15-month-old, and she hadn't seen television, and they were away for a week, and somebody was taking care of her, and the child was on TV the entire time. They came back. They said they couldn't recognize her. She was just unrecognizable energetically. She had an absolute complete tantrum, had to keep pushing toward the clicker, going to the room where the TV is, obsessed with it. And they had to like wean her off of it. And it took them about a week and a half, and just to keep bringing her outside. And she would just want to be there, so addicted to that. And I think that it's so important that, I know it's so easy, right, with kids to like throw them in front of an iPad or put a movie on, or because people are busy. But as much as people can avoid that, and have them be in nature, I think that's the greatest gift possible.
yeah, yeah, that's great. How can we develop a spiritual community that makes space for those of any age?
I mean, just invite everybody.
Yeah, right, right. Probably do things that are a little more like open for kids to enjoy, maybe simple
Yeah,
stuff.
like building a garden. Kids can
Yeah,
come and plant the seeds and
yeah.
water stuff, and chanting and drumming and moon circles, outside, and anything that brings us back into the rhythm of nature. Children can be connected to. So yeah, for sure.
Um, Another question here. Hello, hello, dear Kelly and Raphael. Lately, I keep encountering how the words we can use are spells in positive or negative ways. and that we often are doing this all the time. What is your take on this? And is good intent not of a higher frequency than than that of earthly words? I'm not sure if I'm like saying that right, but I think that's your question. Um,
Well, words are incredibly powerful, most powerful things, sound,
mm,
mantras, intention. Even if like let's say you're invoking Raphael, it's Raphael.
mm,
Ra, the sun, right? Raphael, Michael, Ezekiel, Uriel. It has a reason. It has that L sound because it's a certain tone that's activating the DNA that's connecting with a specific vibration. Coming into ancient Vedic mantras and reciting them, something we're going to do in our community where for 13 weeks, we're all going to gather for free and we're going to come together and we're going to say this ancient mantra that had been a secret for a long time that's come back online until we learn it. It's not easy. I'm terrible pronouncing things and I've been practicing and I'm like, oh, but we're going to get it. And together we start when we come together with intention and sound for words have power in creation. They and we do it in a unified way, we can amplify and shift the frequency on the planet so quickly. It's one of the most powerful things that people can do is mantras, chanting, invocations, prayers, intentional words. So are words spells? 100%. Of course, words are spells. Like I'm not crazy about the word spell, but word is everything, right?
mm,
I mean, when my kids were little, they're in their 30s now, but we would be in the car and we would play the game where you had to remove the word no, can't in every sentence and just start to really pay attention to how are we speaking? How are we affirming our reality? Or put the word thank you before every single thing you said to you are laughing so hard it's ridiculous. Like thank you that whatever. And just those simple things are so powerful. Words are everything. Yeah.
yeah. Do you have any advice for somebody that would like to begin channeling? That's another question we got.
So for me, I wasn't trying to channel.
Mm,
I I was under the specific chiropractic care from my brother-in-law, who is this incredible healer. And me and a few of my sisters laid down in this room on a table, and he did this work on us called network chiropractic, where he would just very gently touch the spine, and energy would just start to move through my body and my siblings at the same time, and our whole bodies would move in waves of
mm.
energy like this, and the energy would come up, and then we'd make this sound. That's why sound is so important, like and then my sister would make the sound and I would make the sound and he could play our energy fields like he was playing chords, on a piano and sync us up. And so I think that the opening to the channeling happened for two reasons. One, we were moving the energy through our body, but two, there were other people that were having the same experience, but they decided to shut it down.
Ah,
And so surrender is huge, a willingness to surrender to the divine. So everybody can channel, everybody can talk to angels. And I think at this point, where the frequency is on the planet, simply intending, asking, inviting, opening, and allowing sound to come. So when you open up to channeling and you feel something or you feel like something's coming through, and then you're like, oh, is that my mind or is that not really it? Just surrender to it and let go, even if you think it is your mind. Let the mind fall away, come into the presence, and allow yourself, like, you have to allow yourself to be vulnerable and kind of silly and look ridiculous. Like when I channel, sometimes in front of thousands of people, my head's moving and my hands, like you have to let go.
yeah, I
This
get
is
that.
not something that somebody can do if their ego is worried about how they're going to look or what people think about them.
Right, right, right.
Totally be like, okay, so ask, open your heart, intend, surrender, let go, and trust. And everybody can do it.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I have some of my buddies from high school that like were checking out my YouTube channel, and the first thing they saw when they popped on was Daniel Scranton, and he was like going like this, and they're like, "What are you doing, Kyle?" And I was like, "You'll get, you'll get it someday, guys."
Right?
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's cool, but you just got to be open to it. So, one of the things I want to talk about because it was so amazing last year. You came on right before the Lionsgate portal and you did this activation. And
Mhm.
my Lionsgate experience was literally crazy. And I'm going to be honest, I was skeptical before stuff like that. I was like, whatever. But
Mhm.
last year was the first year where I was like feeling the energies of these portals. And I was like, whoa, this is real. It was like everything was mystical, walking through like this different time and space. So, what are you doing this year for the Lionsgate?
So for the first time ever, I'm gathering people in person
Oh, wow.
I know in North Carolina it is sold out, but I am going to open it up to streaming for everyone around the planet.
Nice.
And the Lion Gate portal is usually from July 28th to August 12th. But there's a solar eclipse on the 12th in Iceland, full total solar eclipse, which is, I feel, energetically preceding the big one coming up in 2027 in Egypt. And to me, this Lion Gate is a seeding of energy because my mission is to gather 144,000 people in one place together,
Wow.
radiating coherence in their hearts. Maybe you can help me do this. We can do it
Yes,
together
for sure.
of love. And I feel like this Lion Gate is the seeding of that energetically. And so we're going to gather people for the weekend at the Living Arts Center in person, a few hundred people. But then we're going to open it up to everyone on the planet to come, right? Stream live. And when they come, we're going to do an opening ceremony where we're all chanting together. And I'm hoping we have thousands, like tens of thousands of people all chanting and coming into a symphony of union, like one breath, one heart, one love, one coherent heart to amplify light while we have this portal open. And I'm super connected to the white line. White line, I've had experiences where they've come right up to my face and talked to me like real white lions. I
Mhm.
kind of look like a white lion.
Yeah.
So I'm really connected to the Lion Gate. And we're going to work with both the Lyran energy, Sirius and the Egyptian frequency, but also Durga and the Vedic traditions and that protective goddess vibration and merge heaven and earth. So it's going to be intense and powerful. It's the first time I've been open to doing a live event, and I'm really excited. It's going to be I think it's creating a seed, a rippling effect that's going to amplify the energies coming into Egypt in 2027.
Yeah, and could you just speak a little bit about that 2027? It's like supposedly the biggest eclipse of the century. Is that true?
Yeah, I mean, it's not something I sometimes I feel like there's all kinds of people doing their different parts on the planet.
Yeah.
And to me, it feels like this piece coming up this August, because that's also happening during the Lion Gate.
Mm.
That happens as well, August 2nd in 2027. The eclipse that we coming up in 2026 is on the 12th. The Lion Gate is from July 28th to August 12th. So both are happening during that portal, which is really merging heaven and earth, which is it's creating a bridge between the different dimensions into the inner core of the earth, all the way up into the galactic core. And so I feel like what we're doing in our little community is we're going to be gathering and doing this mantra and coming into a coherent field that's going to kind of be an anchor, like a template for the next solar eclipse and that big event that many other people are going to be focusing on and bringing energy to in 2027. Like everybody is doing a little piece and it all clicks together, if that makes any sense.
Oh, absolutely. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And now, so what is Lionsgate for anyone that doesn't know? It's just like an energetic portal. Is there any other way to describe it?
Yeah, I mean, it's deeply connected to the star Sirius.
Oh,
The
okay.
Egyptians were very connected to its vibration. For me, the white lion is a star lion. He's the apex of the animal kingdom, and he brings the star and the galactic frequencies to the planet. But it's also like if all the white lions on the planet, it's known to be became extinct, and there's not many left. That is like a sign that the planet would go into our whole ecosystem would collapse. So when we connect to the white lion's energy, it supports us in reattuning to the earth and to the animals, to elemental kingdoms, and keeping that grid system, which I call the mother source grid, activated and awakened on the planet so that we can hold this template of light while we're going through this transition and it doesn't go in, it doesn't collapse.
Mm.
So for me, the Lion Gate energies, if you can feel them and tap into them, they're very powerful. And every year that I do them, something different arises. A few years ago, the 64 dakinis in the Indian tradition merged with the lion energies and the DNA connected, and it like opened up these portals all through our body. So what happens when I don't always know until I get closer what will happen, but when I gather everyone together, I will channel and people have life-changing activations that happen during that specific window. And it's no coincidence that we have this powerful solar eclipse in Iceland, Greenland, coming up during that time, and then again the next one next year at that exact time. So it's an amazing time to harness. The mantra we'll be working with is called the Gayatri mantra, which is connected to the sun. So it's going to bring more light, more plasma, more sun into our body. And anyone who wants to join us, we're going to start May 10th at 10 a.m. in the morning. It's free. It's open to everyone. I'll give you the link. And people come for an hour every Sunday until we learn the mantra, and then we'll all gather on the Lion Gate, and all around the planet, everyone who's joining will all say it together 108 times, and magnetize this light and coherence and abundance. And it's going to be amazing.
Awesome. Yeah. If anyone's going, comment below because that sounds pretty epic. I want to do that. I'm just
Yeah. Oh,
observing the
please
crowd here
come
and
do it.
everyone's nodding and they're like, yeah, I'm in on that.
Yeah.
Is there anything else happening between now and Lionsgate that we need to prepare for? Or is that's the big thing?
I mean, that's where my energy is focused right now. I know, Pam Gregory's a good friend of mine, and has been speaking about the July, astrologically. There's a lot going on, but I'm not an astrologer, so I don't know. But perhaps there's something that unfolds then that leads us into the Lion Gate. We'll see how it plays out. Yeah.
If the energies weren't intense enough already, right?
Oh my God, right? Come on.
All right. Well, beautiful. Is there anything you want to share before we call in whatever energy wants to come in right now?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Awesome.
All right. So you have some questions?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So for those listening, just takes me a second. I make some sounds and then Raphael comes in and says hello. And wherever you are listening to this, just say hello back, and that connects you to Raphael's healing energy. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, hello, hello. Ah, we are very delighted, as always, to be here and to attune to you and your beautiful energy as we drop into gratitude for the coherent field in which you are radiating through your work, Kyle, and your attunement to this vibration has a rippling effect around the planet. And so thank you for your service as we invite as many people as possible to align with this vibration, for it is of great importance at this time. We are here from the angelic realm as a collective energy of love, as I am amplifying my energy in the individual aspect and frequency of Archangel Raphael, the angel of healing. And so, what is it that you are wanting to talk about today?
There's just so much. Well, first of all, it's awesome to be back with you. Every time that you come, I feel your energy and it feels amazing to just be in your presence. So I'm just curious, there's a lot of people struggling right now with the intense energies that are shifting on the planet. Is there any advice you have just for how we can handle the massive shifts that are happening right now?
There is an energy that is very deep inside the inner core of the earth that has and is revealing itself and coming online to support all of you. And it is like a magnet of love and coherent frequencies attuned to inner waters and vibrations, where energies that have not come to the surface before are beginning to unveil and reveal themselves as support as you are moving through this transition. You have the capacity to anchor your energetic body into the core of this vibration as it will send shoots of light up through your pranic tube, moving through your blood and circulating through your system to activate more light and create a crystalline structure within your energetic form. The way in which you align and attune to this energy is to come, yes, into a coherent field and into a state of presence. And there is nothing in which we can encourage more to all of you at this time than presence itself, for it is the thinking mind that is ruminating about what has happened in the past and generating a fear frequency of concern of what will or could unfold in the future that is creating so much chaos at this time. As you can come into a coherent field of this now moment, bringing your awareness continuously into the presence as you amplify gratitude within that vibration, opening compassion within your heart, you can begin to send that love that is radiating from the heart center down your energetic body and into this energy field that is awakening now and blooming inside the core of the earth. As you do this, it will coil and connect you into its center, which will create a beam of light in which plasmic codes will run through your body, connecting you into the galactic core itself. You are receiving enormous assistance at this time from multiple layered dimensions and vibrations. And it is simply a need at this time for you to attune and take quiet time every day to align with this body of energy and to anchor yourself in this shaft of light that runs from an infinite core of love radiating through your entire being. The simple act of coming into presence and aligning with this vibration on a daily basis will bring you into a harmonic field that will anchor you into a pillar of light that is creating nodules of grids around your system, in which a new template of love is forming around the planet, in which you are anchoring in and aligning with, which will open you to higher dimensions of perceptions and realities, with the capacity, with many energies that have been deeply dormant within your energetic body coming back online, memories flooding in from ancient times and different lifetimes in which you are attuned to the stars and the inner waters and the core of the earth itself, residing in geometric patterns of light that begin to swirl around you as you open into these spaces. When you find yourself dropping into fear, anxiety, worth, unworthiness, and a sense of despair, let go of the mind, come to the heart, step into the presence of this now moment, call upon our energy, feel the light moving through your body, anchor into it, and know that all is well.
Thank you so much. Are there different areas that are more conductive of this energy? Like if we really want to bring in this energy from the core of the earth, is it better for us to be in water and sand and grass? Does it matter?
Oh, the closer you are to the earth itself or any of its elements will support you in this. Laying flat, of course, on the ground, and heart to heart, where you lay on your stomach and you begin to feel the beating heart of the earth, and you sink your heart to the earth, then turning over, and the beating heart of your heart to the galactic heart, feeling the sensation and the rhythm of these vibrations and energies. Of course, the water is a great conduit of energy flowing through your body and can be utilized to release denser energies and blocks within your energetic field simply by inviting and invoking its vibration. as a living consciousness, it is becoming more known. It is sharing and communicating with you on a much deeper level. And you are also receiving so much at this time that is shifting you on a deep biological level. And your blood itself is changing. Your cells are shifting, and all the information encoded within them are being activated through both light and sound. That is why the choirs of the celestial realms and the angelic kingdoms are so present at this time as they are activating these codes. It is the simple act of stillness and presence, although the mind is wanting something greater or more than that, and the attunement to these transmissions that activates and turns on these keys of light that are just ready and pulsing to be open, like doors bursting from the other side, in which light is coming through and opening and flooding your system in a simple willingness to attune, awaken, and align with these frequencies.
That's amazing. Is there a reason why this is happening right now to Earth's core?
She has been dormant and is choosing now to assist. She is assisting because energy inside, like a donut toric field, deep within the molten core of her energy, that travels down into an ocean of waters that are primordial, that live and dwell in the earth, have had conscious communication with other galactic systems in which codes that have been prepared are now being unlocked to flood the planet. That is why the water is surfacing and bubbling up, and floods may come in different areas. And although they appear at times to be destructive and create havoc, they are also flooding the land with codes that are creating new organisms and biological life forms that are interacting with dust and compounds that are coming from the stars and particular galactic energies and interstellar travelers. This is awakening biological energies that are then interacting within the field of your own body to support you in being able to adapt to the shift that is taking place, in which you're fully awakening into the avatar light body as it is emanating more light within and through you. This is a counteraction to an intelligence that is also rising at this time on your planet that is more mechanistic rather than holographic. Although it may appear holographic within its form of information systems that are flooding your planet, it is important that it remain a tool and not one that is interfaced with the biology of the human being. It is, though, that it is a mirrored reflection of your own consciousness that is awakening to infinite intelligence and information that is being unlocked from deep within the core of the earth that has stored this so that it may move through your body, encoding within your cells. In doing so, as the cells are unlocked and the light is arising within, all information systems and ways of being that appear to be structures that are artificial will be awakened inside without a need to interlock or exchange them in a way in which you become mechanistic. And this informs you to evolve in the most biological, natural state and an evolutionary way to the human aspect of self that has the capacity that will be greater than that in which temporarily appears from technological energies appearing at this time that seem to be rapidly surpassing your own intelligence. This is simply untrue. You are simply needed to come into a specific coherent state, a resonance with the vibration of love, in order for you to attain and recognize and awaken to your true nature and capacities mirrored in other aspects of your reality.
Now, Kelly had mentioned that you're talking about 2030 as a major shift. Is this kind of what you're talking about in the transition that we're going to be going through from now to then?
Yes, that is that we have from our realm downloaded into Kelly as a messenger 55 codes of light. Each code activates over a period of 8 years, light in the body, amplifying and turning on as you are becoming this silhouette of the new human. The completion of this particular body of work, which is one aspect, of course, connected to multiple layers and multiple dimensions of frequencies throughout time and space, comes to a completion in your linear time of 2030, meaning a large portion of your collective will have made a leap in consciousness by that time, although the transition for that will require discipline and attunement to these higher vibrations to maintain the frequency needed for this completion. Once this is completed, the experience of your reality and the rapid speed of your capacity to mold it through your conscious intent and attunement to the awakened state of your ability to navigate and move energy for your own creation purposes to mirror a state of unity and light will come into greater awareness around your globe, and the grips of separation and polarity and heaviness that are holding on so tight like claws into your energetic fields will be released. However, these timelines are always shifting and molding dependent upon the free will of the collective as a human race and its choice and consciousness and decisions made. However, this is one template that is ingrained deeply within the timeline, which many would relate to or understand as a timeline of ascension or transformation or transfiguration, transmutation into a higher state of being, aligned with the trueness of your divine nature as the avatar of love that you are and always have been.
Thank you. Could you tell us anything you want us to know or need to prepare for Lionsgate that's coming up?
We are always delighted when the aperture is more open and our capacity for connection and communication is amplified along with multiple dimensions and higher beings of light. This is a time and a frequency that is not in alignment with everyone, for some will attune to other frequencies, but those called to this vibration is of deep support for your energy field to come into complete union with the divine aspect and nature of your true divinity as you merge with both the galactic parts of self that dwell and live in other dimensions and which are recalled back into and awakened within your field, and energies from other dimensions residing in places within the elemental kingdom merging in union through the Shakti energy that rises through the serpent bearer, moving through the pranic tube, awakening within the crown of the toric field to allow an amplification of light. And these attunements place you on higher timelines and align you with the memories that begin to flood your system as the structures carry you into higher dimensions. Each time you align with these frequencies, it is a step in your evolution toward unity, and it is of great support to align with these energies as all things come into a specific alignment for the support of the amplification of your vibration during these sacred portal moments.
Could you tell us a little bit more about why the highest angelic realms are showing up to support Kelly right now?
It is like all of you. You reach specific thresholds in which new doorways are unlocked, in which, when your system is prepared and ready for the flooding of these frequencies and able to attune to them, they come. For if we were to open the door of these gates to these higher dimensional angelic kingdoms before the system was ready, it would be like plugging something in and a circuit blowing, an overload. And so there can be at times a sequential necessary evolution within one's energetic field to prepare them for these higher frequencies. That is why you're not accustomed necessarily to attuning to the dimensions above the archangels, for you are often very accustomed to the understanding or connection or relationship with your own personal guardian angel or guides, or that as myself as a spiral of geometric light, as an archangel creating an arc of light around your planet. But moving beyond those concentric circles into higher dimensions up to the thrones and the Seraphins requires an unlocking within the DNA and passing through thresholds and doorways of activations and initiations in order to be prepared to receive these codes of fire letters at such high octaves in order to assimilate them within the energetic field. As a collective species, you have been initiated and have awakened enough across the globe in certain sectors to be able to open the gates for these vibrations to come in, as they will start to be more known and spoke of in coming weeks, months, and years by many around your globe that will be attuning to their vibrations. This will open not just the eye of the third eye, but the eye that is placed within the womb center, the heart center, within the hands, and etc., as it opens your perception to move beyond the illusion into new perceptions of reality based in love. These energies are flooding your planet right now to assist you in the burning, the purification, and the transmutation of these denser vibrations that now are outgrown and that you have outgrown as a collective, like skin in which you are unzipping and stepping out of. However, you are so connected and familiar with this skin, and there is fear of letting go of it, and others deeply attached to the ego and the identity of hierarchy begin to, through the patriarch, hold these vibrations in a steadfast form or structure. But that now is becoming very obvious to you that that in itself is an illusion and is not only real, dependent on the amount of energy and the choice that you allow to agree collectively that it is true. When you begin to understand that it is no longer true and that that reality is not real, the fabric of that reality begins to dissolve and a new one is born. And that birthing process aligns you to the new human, which is in connection with higher dimensional angelic messengers that come all the way from the Saraphin, attuned to the burning light of Source and God itself, opening you to the memory that you are a fractal pattern of the divine, a mirrored reflection of love, and that is who you are and who you have always been.
Lastly, how can we best serve you as well as all the angel realms?
Ah, to call upon us, for we cannot assist if we are not asked, to move into a state of presence, to remember that you are love, to hand to us your fears and worries and concerns, to trust and turn it over to the divine, which is an aspect of yourself, to let go and to surrender into higher frequencies, to give thanks and bow to the ground of the great planet, the Mother Gaia, the earth that serves and holds and carries you through this dimension and time, and to honor her deeply and profoundly as you align with her elements and her vibrations, honoring her trees, her plants, her crystals, her animals, her flying and swimming ones. Speak to the water, feel its frequency, bathe in the rivers, play and laugh. Let go of the need to accumulate the material, knowing that it will be left behind when the body is left and cannot be carried with you, and that your goal is to come into a state of peace, a state of stillness, of spaciousness, of union, and of love, remembering the essence of who you are, the purpose of why you are here, and serving the planet at this time from deep within your heart center, simply by remembering and loving who you are and knowing that that is enough. And so from the angelic kingdom, I send to you all of my love and my light as you call upon my emerald green light. If you are open to receiving a miracle, I can grant that to you. For call upon me, for I am here. Many blessings and good day.
Many blessings. Thank you so much. That was unbelievably beautiful. Oh, it's so good with Raphael. And the one thing that's so fascinating is the transmission is felt. I know you hear that all the time, but it almost feels like something wants to channel through me when I'm in your energy. Have you heard that before too?
Yeah, so just let that come through.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, just
I'm about to, I was worried. I was about to go into another place that I wasn't going to be asking questions, okay, because it was so
yeah.
powerful. Yeah.
It's okay, just go there, don't worry about it, and, invite that same frequency to come in and blanket you when you go to bed tonight.
Awesome. Is there any other way we can support you? This was so amazing. There's so much that, we need to integrate together as a community just from this conversation. We're all going to show up for the Lionsgate, so I'm going to make sure to produce that as much as promote that as much as possible. Is there any other way we can support you?
No, just stay in your heart, do what you do, and that's plenty.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Kelly. We love you so much. And Raphael, thank you. This has been amazing. And thank you everyone for being here and all your amazing questions. We love you.
Guys, love you,
Oh,
thanks.
if everyone could unmute and send Kelly and Archangel Raphael as much love as possible, that'd be great.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank
Love,
you.
love, love, love,
Raphael.
love.
Bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
Kelly.
Bye.
That was lovely and wonderful.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Hey, everyone. We'd like to take a moment to invite you into our new Heart Coherence Collaborative community.
It's the shared home of an extraordinary network of teachers we've built real relationships with over the past decade. Pam Erlin, Daryl Enka, who channels Bashar, Natalie Namaste, with more and more people being added every single month. These aren't guest appearances. They aren't one-off courses. These are friends and guides who will be part of the living fabric of this space.
Many of your favorite teachers are going to live inside our Heart Coherence Collaborative community, where they'll be offering special channeling sessions, releasing exclusive courses, and interacting with members in real time. This is the fruition of what we actually wanted to create when we started the Heart Coherence Collaborative 7 years ago. And as a member, you're not just going to be here to consume content. You can actually apply to host a session if you want inside the community in whatever modality you specialize in.
Because we have so many gifted practitioners in our collective, from Reiki to yoga, to meditation, breath work, and beyond. If you're one of these people, this could be your place to shine. It's a collaborative built by the people for the people.
Let's go. Inside our Heart Coherence Collaborative community, we practice together. I guide live heart coherence meditations 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and there are full replays included, creating real-time nervous system regulation and consistency. You'll also receive live virtual access to our in-person heart coherence retreats, which are amazing and we host twice a year, where the deepest breakthroughs consistently happen.
Every month, we gather for a full moon ceremony with a special guest, creating a powerful space for intention, release, and energetic alignment. And once a month, we also host a live special guest session. You won't know who that's going to be. With teachers that you already know and love, exclusively inside the community.
You'll also receive access to a growing library, and it's growing rapidly, of 300 hours of exclusive courses covering heart coherence, emotional and energy healing, identity shifting, channeling, and consciousness expansion. Every course includes a workbook designed for real integration, not just passive consumption. Plus, there'll also be exclusive guest courses you won't find anywhere else, including teachers from Daryl Anka, Bashar, Natalie Namaste, Ra of Earth, with more being added every minute.
More than anything, this community becomes an anchor. If you've ever felt like you're outgrowing your environment, which we hear from a lot of people, or you're craving a space where people are actually living these practices, this is where you belong.
Right now, new members can join our Heart Coherence Collaborative community for $47 a month. Once the first 1,000 members join, the price is going to increase. If you join at $47, you'll have the same price forever, even after the cost of the community goes up. That is what you'll pay for as long as you remain in the community.
You will also have the option to choose annual access for $423 per year, which will lock you in at that low $47 monthly rate and give you 3 months free, which is the best bang for your buck.
Joining is simple. Just click the link near the video and join us inside the Heart Coherence Collaborative community before the price increases soon.
We would love to practice with you and we would love to grow with you.
We'll see you inside.